Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Letter. It's been a while since we visited this series, but I think it's about time that we finally come back to it. Last time we left off, we were playing as Zach, and I forget exactly what happened, but I do believe we went to visit a professor that is supposed to be pretty good at dealing with more paranormal things. So, without further ado, let's jump on back into it. Load game. Here we go. Well, I guess I could just do continue, right? Here we go. Oh shit. I don't know what I just did. Okay, wait. Closing my eyes to let the noise in the streets below lull me to sleep. At the very least, that's one thing that hasn't changed. Okay, I just want to make sure that I am in the right spot here. Okay. The melody carries into the hall long before I cross the threshold. Solemn but gentle and soothing, a reminder what home is. Pa's firm but meaningful gaze, Ma's wistful smiles, the warm rays filtering through the eaves at sunset, the distinct smell of wet earth and leaves after a long day's rain, and our room. The room. Ma and Pa's pride and joy. A place we were once promised several springs ago. Yet it won't stop. No, wait! Come back! I'll be good this time! Please don't leave! Please stay! The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is. The walls more forbidding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases. And Pa. I can't hear Pa. Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There's only the blinding fear. But when the light breaks, her skin has already taken on a sickly pale color, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands gripping Hana's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes. A scream ripples through the air. My whole body feels distant, every limb heavy with lead, all unable to move at will. Not even so I can wipe the beads of sweat forming at my temple. The rasping of my breath easily fills the room in the wee hours, while I force it back into a steady rhythm. There's a tightness in my chest that I can't shake off, my heart pounding against it as if it's about to burst. Something cold has settled on my legs. Not the usual chill that comes and goes with the passing breeze from the window, but one strong enough to sting, shackle, and leave a frigid sensation creeping up my skin. With every struggle I make, the pressure winds firmly around my legs, tighter, and tighter, and tighter, until it all becomes too much. My heart stops. Another draft sweeps into the room and brings with it the iron tang of blood, thick, suffocating. Filling my nose with a foul, sickening smell as I shift my gaze downwards, and it slowly comes into view. Mouth stretched in a hideous smile and eyes brimming with nothing but madness. The stench of gore taints the air around me, and I can't look away. From it. Her. From the terror and death that her uncanny, twisted features alone scream. I try to open my mouth to shout, to ask for any help. My voice has left my body altogether. All I have is the painful realization that no kind of plea will ever save me from her. And suddenly, the bed dips. Jesus Christ, that's fucking horrifying, dude. The brutal plunge back into myself jerks me awake. There's no ear-splitting scream. No wild thrashing of limbs. Just a painful, constricting awareness that something has wound itself tightly around my neck. I waste no second pulling it, a blanket, away, but allow myself a few minutes to steady my breathing before getting off the bed. Inhale, hold, exhale. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. But the dreams have gotten worse. Ever since 2 days ago, no longer are they the small cursory flashes that I'm used to. but vivid ones that linger. I can still feel the blood in my hands, the putrid smell of rotting flesh, the sickening crunch of bones breaking with every movement, and her cold, chilling eyes as they bore into me. I draw in one long, ragged breath, and before I know it, I'm walking out the door. Even in the waking world, it reeks. A bench in the park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Luxburn, considering its location at the heart of a bustling city. But in the early hours of the morning, it provides enough peace and quiet for any poor problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city's just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to banish the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head, its claws digging deep in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Take a key and lock him up.
Well, hello, can I finish this?
Lock him up. Take a key and lock him up.
Alright, I'll read over you. Fuck you, little bitch.
Lady.
It used to be easy, finding some pretense of peace under the guise of sheer optimism, following regular routine. Now I don't know what to make of it. Sometimes it's easier to run, easier to hide when everything's falling apart. That way, you don't have to be the first one to witness it when it does. It worked when things went bad in the movie, after all. It also worked when Mom and Pa were taken from us. Okay, little bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm tired of you. Please shut the fuck up. Okay, no. I'm gonna go fucking insane.
Take a key and lock him up, lock him up, lock him up.
I gotta fucking turn that way down for now. Jesus fucking Christ. No, I didn't want to take a fucking screenshot. Maybe it really is better if I just... Okay, finally. Motherfucker. It's so annoying.
Hey, mister.
The tiny voice gives me a pause. When I look up, a little girl, maybe about 6 or 7, is peering at me. 2 wide eyes, overflowing with what can only be natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note the St. Goretti uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting. Hey kid.
Kylie.
Kylie?
That's my name. Mama said it's rude.
Mama? I don't know.
Said it's rude to not call people by their names.
She then flops down on the empty space beside me. Her little legs, still too short to touch the ground, swings in tune with a song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. Nana would often invite the ones in our old neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then Sis and I were too old to play with them, but you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems to be a well-behaved kid anyway. Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, Kylie. Is Mama here?
No, but my big brother's with me. He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street where a kid is taking shots of something above him. He doesn't look to be birds because all there is on that side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cuter. You have the camera too, mister?
Yeah, I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
I'm sure your mama will eventually get you one. But won't you be late for school like this?
Big brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised, Papa. We aren't going to be late. It's sports day, so it's not good if you keep looking like that today. If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
Alright, I'll try not to upset the clouds today, kid.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Before I know it, a smile is spread across my face. They say kids ask the toughest questions sometimes, and they sure do, with how sincere Kylie looks. Lying feels like doing her a huge disservice. No, not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Why's that? Is that like when my big brother ate all my pudding? He did that once and I cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble. Hard to keep up with when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things would just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you.
I highly doubt that. She already hurt one of my friends.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help? That's what happens with Melody. I let her borrow my crayon when she left hers. Now we're playmates.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie. What she did, they're pretty bad things.
I still think there's another reason. Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan. You're just scared, mister.
That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in her tone, or simply the truth in the words itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I laugh. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking a leisurely walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
Nothing. You're a real smart kid, you know that? That's what I've been doing, ain't it? Go full speed ahead and backtrack when things get tough. Stay in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once, Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one willing to deal with my problems before anyone else. I didn't show up on our next appointment after that. But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point, too. I've been so caught up thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is. But that doesn't mean I should just give it up to fate. Aren't spirits supposed to be humans too? Humans before too? Had people they cared about? Lived a life of their own? Smiled and laughed like the rest of us do? Do? Did they really lose all that after death? You better get to school though, or you'll miss sports day. Be sure to win yourself some awards, alright?
Alright, can I show it to you when I do? That cheers people up, right?
In the distance, her brother calls for her, and I took that as a sign to leave. Got things to do, to face. Besides, Mr. needs to go. Nah, I'm good now, I think. Oh wait, no, what was the last thing? Got things to do, to face, the first few steps, they say. Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mr. needs to go. But you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will. Thanks, mister. Bye.
I give her a little pat on the head before heading my way. A small gesture of thanks from a stranger she didn't know she might have helped. She may not understand it now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things, but maybe when she's older. When the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you gonna help me, mister?
With what? Confused, I glance back. Whatever cheer our little talk brought about has vanished under the shadows suddenly dancing in my eyes. This frigid air is most definitely not how the morning chill should feel like. Bitter, stinging, unwelcoming. And the kid.
What do you think, mister? Are you gonna help me?
What do you want from us? The response never comes, however, because when I blinked, gone.
Hello, mister? Are you okay?
For several passing seconds, I let my stare linger on her face, waiting for any sign of another change. But all that remains in there is the carefree smile of a child, none of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile. Nothing. I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister.
I break into a run. I don't look back, not even as I bump into a couple of passerbys as soon as I'm out on the busy streets. Going insane. This is what it is. And if we don't do something soon, we all will be. The tremors follow me as I get home. I'd hoped the little stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Instead, I'm assaulted with even more images of her. Her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma song no longer sounds as sweet as it's meant to be. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling that I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back, and for the first time, coming home feels more like a chore. Only I didn't arrive to an empty room, because as soon as I open the door, I'm greeted by none other than...
Sup, Z-Man? I told you we should have called him before getting here. It's fine.
It is Ashton I see first, sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips with both feet propped atop the coffee table. Whatever proverbial stone has made a home at the pity of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of him. Alright, it's a little bit loud for me. I don't know about you guys though. So I'll just lower my own volume and hope to God that you guys aren't like having your ears blasted out. But before any exasperation can set in, my attention is taken by the other occupant in the room. Isabella perches on the only other chair in the room, attempting to make herself smaller, it seems, from how closely she's hugging her arms against her. Nevertheless, she gives me a small smile when she notices my stare. Yet, somehow, there ain't any warmth in it like it's supposed to have.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself. Only after you broke the 13th one. I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man. I didn't break anything this time. Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my... Ash smirks at me, because of course he has the gall to smirk knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth, and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it on the nearby trash. From her chair, Isabella shoots me an apologetic glance as soon as the foil hits the waste bin with a dull thunk. Common sense dictates that I should be angry. But after everything, having something normal play out in front of me, no matter how childish their antics can get, I can't bring myself to muster even a tidbit of it. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music for the end credits of a movie. They've likely been waiting for a while if Ash has gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something. Of course he eats all of it. You know I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least spare some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know. What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Ash only shrugs at the question in my eyes. I can't be the only one who finds this vibe she's giving off to be odd, and the guy's no doubt already caught wind of it. Alright. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
She casts a brief glance at Ash, and in an instant he sits up. Every trace of amusement is gone from his face as he clasps his hands in front of him and leans forward. A minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether. Alright, you two, what's this about? I don't like the looks. What I said was weird, I'm aware of that. But I'm not taking it back. Isabella's not the only one here who's seen it. A short but tense pause follows. They're both stalling. Under normal circumstances, I'd wait. With these two, the more you force it, the more they'll clamp down on it. But as a handful of seconds continue to slip by, the unsettling feeling in me also grows with it. Soon, it turns into impatience. Before I can demand a response, though, one of them finally speaks up. It's Ashton who first breaks it. I'm not asking you to. No, you're right. There really are odd things going on here lately.
How's everything with you lately, Zach?
Hold on, Ash. Both of you. Did I just hear you say that? Is this why Isabella's here? Has something happened? Calm down. We're just here to check on things. So, did you meet Andrew about the photos?
What photographs?
Said photographs have been sitting untouched since the day I dumped them in my drawer. Isabella goes very still when I hand her the small stack. To her credit, she does not flinch like I'm expecting her to, and flips through each of it in silence. But while her eyes remain strangely calm, her eyes have gone rigid, and her mouth is set into a thin line. She, out of all people, understands what this means. In hindsight, she should have been the one I approached before Ash. What did Andrew say about them? It could be one, but there's no guarantee it's a supernatural thing. It doesn't always happen, so that's a dead end right there. Now that I think about it, bothering that guy for this feels pretty silly now, but with the dreams lately.
That's all? Did he say anything about the damn letter at all? Did you ask him even?
I pause, glancing at him skeptically. I don't know where this sudden curiosity's coming from, but if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere. Or the world is ending. Seconds pass. The apocalypse I'm expecting to go along with it doesn't arrive, however. Yeah, that's really everything. The letter kind of slipped my mind. The photos were more important at the time. There was some stuff about the local horror stories, though. Talked about the curses, and he was really fascinated with this story about a wraith asking for a sacrifice to move on. Kinda nasty if you ask me, but it does make sense if you simply go along with it. I'm not sure how this will help in the grand scheme of things. Why are you asking about this anyway?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a second, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day you said the exact same thing. I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady. Are you sure you even have the time? Aren't you busy with the current case? I got taken off that one.
You didn't say you were taking off your case.
I just got the news this morning. Apparently the higher-up thinks I'm doing a horrendous job at it. It doesn't matter, though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought, then regardless, I'm on the right track.
Are you sure we should even be doing this?
Doing what exactly? There's some place we'll visit after this. Too vague for comfort, Ash. And don't tell me you're bringing her with you. His affirmation comes in the form of a stare, but that alone says all I need to know. What I pointed out gives him a pause, though, and his voice is thick with hesitation when he addresses Isabella. You know what? Zach's right, Isabella. You don't have to come with me.
It's not myself I'm worried about, it's you! I'll just do this by I'll just do this myself. If it'll get you into more trouble with your superiors, at least I can make up an excuse why I need to be there.
Don't be ridiculous. You're not walking in there without me. Besides, I think it's a little too late to back out now. Have you two seen the news this morning?
I haven't, actually. Mama called me and I was busy.
The change in the air around her, while small, cannot have gone unnoticed, and it takes every willpower not to ask. Probably the only thing reining in my curiosity is the fact that Ash himself hasn't brought it up either. No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well. Jesus. He grabs the remote and cycles through the numerous channels until he gets to a news report about another guy who's been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Burned alive this time. Oddly, no fire has spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place, the body was found. The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. Isabella and I knew better. None of us shifts even after the report ends, but the room has suddenly felt stifling. Ashton's eyes have gone hooded with what appears to be restrained anger, and the remote in his hand creaks mildly under his grip. The stone is back in my stomach, a tiny little thing gripping at my insides, growing with every passing second as the dread sinks in. In the thick of it, Isabella's voice is the one that breaks the hush. A small, weak thing on its own that wavers unevenly between words, but every syllable heavy with meaning.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
When it fades, all that's left in the air is her doubt and fear, while all we can do is to cope. Is there anything I can say to make her feel better? Ooh. We can fix this or stay silent. I don't know. I mean, like, if we're thinking about it, obviously Isabella knows exactly what we're talking about. We haven't directly addressed it, but she's very well aware of the fact that there is something. There is a fucking ghost. We know that there's also some paranormal shit going on here. Even Ashton's gotten interested, which, like he said, is very uncharacteristic of him. I mean, like, clearly there's something going on here. But I don't know if necessarily saying we can still fix this is gonna help anything, right? Because, like, you gotta put yourself in her shoes. Her fucking coworker has been brutally fucking murdered, and for all she knows, she's the fucking reason that happened. But okay, we gotta change the topic at the very least. We're gonna say we can still fix this. It ain't too late. We can still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this.
She lifts her gaze at me, eyes steady and shoulders squared as she holds it against the baffled look I give her. Although in the next second, it immediately softens, and it takes me by surprise nevertheless. In those brief moments, it's like I faced a different person.
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. But if you as well...
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking. Still and all, that's 2 extra heads we can do the thinking. Between us 3, I'm sure we'll figure out something pretty soon. Don't make this whole thing sound like it's a piece of cake to deal with. It ain't. But better than sitting around, yeah? A plan is still a plan. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot one day with that kind of thinking. We don't even know who's doing this. The last 2 murders might just be similar incidents done by 2 different suspects. Hasn't stopped you from going after him before. Remember that time when you... Okay, stop right there. There'll be no retellings of that incident today, Z-Man. Or ever. Keep calling me Z-Man and maybe I will. Suddenly, Isabella laughs. Oops. Though muffled by her hands, it rings light and easy against the thick tension in the room. Still a far cry from the usual cheer she carries, but brings a welcome shift in the mood, and the otherwise dreary mood.
Thanks, you 2.
I'll tell you about it when he's not around. Give it up, Z-Man. She's not interested.
Who says I'm not?
Ash makes a face, but chuckles at the jest despite himself. Why am I even friends with you 2? And like this, most of our worries ebb away, if only for a few moments. They take their leave minutes close to sundown, but regardless of the lighter mood, little has been said of their plans, only vague hints of what they're aiming to do after. While it ain't any of my business to know, something about this whole thing still gnaws at me. A tiny passing thought urges me to do something as well. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and pause right there. We'll save. And boom. Alright. So, definitely interesting. We started off this episode with some pretty heavy stuff for sure. I mean, kind of right off the bat having some ghostly confrontations. So yeah, it seems like the ghost is kind of having different effects on all of us. For Isabella, it's shown up physically in a very physical form. For Hannah, while she didn't read the letter, which is presumably why Zach is getting haunted, she obviously lives in the house. So with Hannah, she's being affected by the ghost in a literal possessive manner. She's presumably been possessed by the ghost. And with Zachary, it seems like it's a more psychological thing, where it's showing up in his dreams, it's showing up in night terrors, sleep paralysis kind of stuff, and it's also, showing up on the faces of innocent little girls. So it seems as if the ghost is kind of having various effects on each of the different characters and appearing to them in different forms. So I'm curious as to what the plan is. They said that they're going to go there, which presumably maybe the mansion. That would be my best guess. Because it's like Isabella knows that, hey, I picked up this letter, it said show it to 5 people, and then all of a sudden this ghost starts appearing. My coworker gets murdered, and all this weird shit starts happening. So she's definitely smart enough to kind of put 2 and 2 together. So I'm assuming that they're going to go back to the mansion, and potentially we might, get an understanding of Hannah's possession. But that's going to be it for this time. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you would like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one.